The Maneuver Center of Excellence is constantly adapting to meet the challenges of a changing battlefield. These changes will be highlighted in this new series. From leadership development to combined arms training, Fort Benning is hard at work creating the most adaptable soldiers.
Combat developments are one of the MCoE's highest priorities. They're the way ahead for the Army, and with Fort Benning being the Maneuver Center and the example, our combat developments are the best.
Combat developments that we're currently engaged in at Fort Benning, they're absolutely tremendous. And what they're doing is they're really forging, a new path for the way we're kind of training soldiers, and being very aggressive in making our forces better, making our soldiers better.
Combat developments can be any improvement that will help us achieve overmatch on the battlefield, from course structure changes to weapon alterations and much more.
Some of the combat developments that have occurred are, number one, the Net Warrior system, which is a system that provides our soldiers with the ability to be able to be connected into their units on the battlefield. Situational awareness is the most critical aspect that you can have wherever you're fighting in the world. You have a lot of our weapons developments. You have the improvements that we've made in the M4 and will continue to make in the M4. And then the improvements that we're continuing to make with our vehicles, such as the new improved ground combat vehicle. So there's just tremendous effort across the whole installation with just making the force better.
One of these vast improvements is the improvement of Army Doctrine, which is the baseline of all Army training.
Doctrine standardizes the fundamental principles, procedures, tactics, techniques, terms, and symbols. All Army operations are doctrine-based, and doctrine is the basis for all training.
And with 12 years at war and counting, Doctrine is changing thanks to the lessons we've learned and the input received from soldiers and commanders.
Doctrine revision is not just okay, 2015 we must have a new doctrine on. It is a constant process that takes investment not only from the MCoE, but investment from the force and those leaders and soldiers that are out there actually doing it on the battleground. It's their input. It's getting them to be author of their own doctrine.
With doctrine revisions and many technical combat developments underway, it's also important to focus on developing the individual leader.
By educating our leaders and our soldiers that come through Fort Benning, that's ultimately going to be what decides what's going to be overmatched. But we have to be able to put in our soldiers' hands the ability to be able to defeat the enemy on any battleground anywhere in the world.
In our next part, we'll discuss one combat development in particular, leader education, and how the MCoE is making it a priority to create critical thinking and adaptive leaders of the future.